Welcome back to another episode of Smoking and Grilling with me, AB. Now, you already read the title. You know these are AB's favorites, right? My summer favorites. Look, so you see that mac and cheese right there? Look at that pool. That right there is a mac and cheese. Now, you can't say nothing about, summertime or even the spring, without saying mac and cheese, right? It's super easy to make. And if you guys look up, you can see that little iCard. You see that little thing that popped up right there? You want to go ahead and click on that if you want to see just how this one was completely made. This is super easy, just showing you how I did it, making the roux with the cheese, adding my milk. You guys can use heavy cream, however you guys want to do it, but I would suggest you follow the instructions that are down in the description box below, right? So then when you add your cheese to it, all of this right here, even the aromatic that comes up off of this right here just says, you know what, it's spring and especially it's summertime, right? That's all your get-togethers and things like that, right? Just super easy. Then you can see right there, I'm mixing my cheeses. You got to do that, folks. You know what I mean? Now, I know a lot of people like to do all of those way out, mac and cheese. They want to do 3 cheese, 5 cheese. I've even seen a 7 cheese. But if you ask me, that's a whole lot, right? But that's what you're looking for right there, right? Because then we're going to go ahead and put them noodles in that. So if you guys going to be using a casserole dish, something like what you see right there. Or, you know what, when I say summertime and I think about like get-togethers and things like that, you know what, I use them aluminum half pans. Those right there are fire, folks. You know what I mean? You get those, they nice, big. They hold all of your ingredients and then you put them out. And best of all, listen, when everything is gone, there's no, listen to this, there's no cleanup. Just ball it up, put it in the recyclable. Now that right there, look, that's that Creole kick. Gotta have that. Everybody wanna know, like, why does my mac and cheese, they follow it. And if they don't have the Creole kick, you know what I mean? They wanna know, like, when they had it for me, it tasted a certain way, but then when they made it, it just didn't have that fire. That's the secret ingredient right there. You know what I mean? But again, it comes about what kind of profile do you guys like? You know what I mean? Whatever you want, that's what you put in there. Now, look at that right there. Nice and creamy. You come and you save some of your cheese, right? Because listen, it's about your presentation. So listen, once you grate it, and I should have said this already, if you guys hadn't heard me say this in the past, listen, grade your own cheese. Get rid of that waxy film and all of that stuff that they put in there so that the shredded cheese that's pre-bought and pre-shredded won't stick, right? When you do it, it melts like that, and there you have it, folks. Look, tell me that I don't say summertime. Yes, sir. Now, look at this right here. Now, you can see that was my Level Up series. That was just a quick glance. You know what I mean? You got the AP, you got the Level Up, the A, which is good for your poultries, and your pork. Yes, sir. What is that right there? That's pork, right? And if you guys haven't had that right there, if you've never done fried ribs, listen, I'm going to go ahead and just let the cat out of the bag. It's almost like eating pork chop, just like with a stick on it. You know what I mean? That's your bone. Gives a little bit of extra flavor because it is, it is next to the bone, and they super easy to make, right? Now, summertime, don't forget, we don't want to lose that theme, right? So check it out. You got to go ahead and get them ribs, and you want to put them. Now listen, you can do them 2 different ways. You can do them in the oven for those of you guys that don't have access to a grill. Like if you live in an apartment, it gets a little bit, tricky, right? Like you might not be able to just get out there on that community grill that everybody's using. Probably somebody's on it anyway. And then now with the fire regulations, you can't really, do anything out on your balcony, right? So listen, sometimes you got to put them in the oven. You know what I mean? But when you put them in the oven or the crock pot, listen, now again, if you look up at the top, I got an iCard for you. Show you how to do both. Now, what you're seeing right there is, look, that's me applying the rub generously on there. And I'm using the mustard as a binder, folks. Nothing too secretive or nothing like that, nothing way over the top. And yes, you guys, I know the number one question is, can you taste the mustard? I've heard people say they can, but I can't. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to, put a whole lot on there. Remember, you're just applying your rub and you're using that, so that your binder as a binder. Super easy. Now, here you can see, look, we're getting ready to go ahead and deep fry, right? Now, the magic is in, it's in your flour. It's about you seasoning it. That also, listen, that's what levels it up. That's what makes it like just great. You got to season your flour. And as you can see, I went ahead and seasoned them ribs too. So listen, I got season applied everywhere. Now, you just want to cut them down, you know what I mean? Because listen, we're going to put them in that basket. And that's up to you how you want to do them. Again, you can put them in the oven. You know what I mean? You can take them and put them outside on the grill. Or if you, in this case, you want to deep fry, you go ahead and do them like that. But I want you to go ahead and take a look at that. You can see that seasoning on there. And the longer you let that sit up on there, the longer that seasoning, it penetrates that meat and gets down there. That way, when you pull that and you bite all the way down to the bone, I can't say enough about it, folks. But it's real easy. You see it right here. Just do it like you see what I'm doing right there. Just make sure it's applied. And the key thing is to like shake it. And notice how I hit it up against the side. You want to get off as much of the excess flour as you can. And just go ahead and put it in the basket just like you see. Then all I do is just like repeat the process, till I got the basket full. And no, you don't have to have, a full, a basket deep fryer like that. You guys can go ahead and get yourself a pot. Dutch oven works great too, especially because it got like a little lid over the top. If you don't have that screen, that grease screen protector, So look at that right there. Look at the color. And it doesn't take long, folks. That right here is what you want. These are best served hot. You know what I mean? When they hot like this, somebody should be like really ready for them. I just let them rest for about, I let them rest for about 5 minutes. After that, then I pass them on. You know what I mean? They're just super easy to make and big on flavor. And you see this right now? Now listen, after seeing that mac and the ribs, tell me this, y'all. You telling me that when you see them beans right there, you're not already just salivating? This is what I'm talking about. This is the summertime, right? So when I think about barbecue baked beans, this is what I'm talking about. You start with a little bacon, leave a little bit of that bacon fat. You see how it's in there? I didn't clean it all out. Then you want to go ahead and add your beans, reintroduce that bacon. And I did like this. Listen, this is just for video purposes only. You see how I'm separating everything? That's so you guys can just see it. But this is like real easy to make. It's really a dump and go. This is really, really over the top when you put it out on the grill and you let it get infused with some of that, some of that smoke. I can't say enough about it, folks. These are the beans. These are what we call championship barbecue bacon beans. You know what I mean? It's all there. And then I want you guys to look at that onion. Got to talk about that because I don't know if the red onion get enough love. That's the flavor, folks. Now, again, you guys can go ahead and stick it out, put it on the grill, put it in the oven. You know what I mean? I would say put it in the oven if you're going to do it inside and just let that, marinate, let all of those flavors just, get married to each other and go from there. Now, we done seen what? Mac and cheese. We done seen ribs, but we did them a different way. We deep fried them, right? We came with barbecue baked beans, and I know what y'all know what this, I know you guys know what this is right here. This right here is that fire. You can't have barbecue baked beans without having no, potato salad. Super easy. You see that I'm using like regular everyday ingredients, but what makes it over the top, if you ask me, folks, is the fact that you're using the mayo and the ingredients that you like. I'm giving you, just to adjust how to put something together. If you guys can use these brands, then go ahead. And then there it is right there. I always tell you, I got a little something special. That's that Creole kick. You just want to get everything seasoned. You want to have like just a little bit of a bite to it. And I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to potato salad, I gotta do sweet relish. Now I done heard, now that I've gotten older, I've heard people start talking about that they do deal, but not for me. I gotta have a little sweet with it too. And then what I always tell you guys, you gotta taste it as you go. Now, when it comes to your celery and things like that, celery is there for me for the texture. That's what gives it that, just a little bit of a bite. And check that out right there. You see how I cut those? That's old school right here. You remember Big Mama used to cut everything in her hand like that? Listen, don't do as I say. No, excuse me. How's the saying going? Don't do as I do as I say. Let's just do it safely. But I wanted to do it just like, Grandmama did it. It just takes me back. And it's super fast. Now, I didn't want to say, I should have said this earlier. When you cooking your potatoes, don't make them mushy. You know what I mean? You want them to still have a little bit of integrity, right? And if you notice, look, they kind of like get soft because once you drain them and you move them around, and then once you introduce them to your mayo mixture and all of that, when you start turning it over, and look, we're not really mixing, we're doing a fold. The edges start to soften up, and it's still kind of soft. And look at that right there, folks. That is a potato salad that would just knock them dead. Remember, the real key is, for those of you guys that do like the onion, it's the onion, but the real set off it's the celery. You want to have them the right size so they can give you the right texture and they be fire. And then of course, me, I like to hit it with a little paprika, which I think the rest of America likes to do also. And then you want to hit it with a little green. For me, my garnish of choice, you know what it is, green onion tops, a little pepper, and bam, that's it.